World of Warcraft, Void Scarred, and WoW's 5 next expansions. The fuck, Bellular? What the hell is this? Is some clickbaity shit. He seems to know what the next 5 expansions are gonna be. Who says we're even gonna get 5 more expansions? I don't know. Let's see what he has to say about this. Is he clickbaiting us?
In under 3 months from now, we're going to know what WoW's next expansion is. And knowing Blizzard, we're probably going to see a repeat of one of their more successful tactics.
Not
and that
5
is
more,
the double whammy. This year, it may even be a triple. And that is a patch and 2 expansions. Kind of mad. With patch 10.1.7 lined up for September 5th and 10.2 perhaps in early October, we will see where the story is going in 10.3. And that means they, like they did with patch 8.3, can drop a 10.3 announcement right before BlizzCon, get us all talking, and then, because that has been done at BlizzCon properly, they'll be able to talk about the new expansions. First, whatever's coming to Classic, be that...
I don't know if 10.3 is even going to happen, honestly. If it does, I feel like it's just going to be faded rating and stuff. I don't know. Maybe, I guess. 10.3?
Or some sort of surprise announcement. We do know they actually have an experimental gameplay team who is working on Classic, so that could be decently big. And of course, that just leaves 11.0. And with that said, here's everything that I think it's going to entail, and what we all think could actually happen. What's definitely going to happen is today's sponsor. Guild Wars 2, the free-to-play MMO that is focused on gameplay over grinding, and their brand new expansion.
This is the second time
changes the game.
That I see Guild Wars 2 sponsor a person who strictly posts WoW videos. They're going all in on the WoW, attacking the WoW community. Guild Wars 2 is going in hard. I saw them do it with, who else were we watching that had a fucking WoW 2? Doran. The guy only posts WoW videos. They had a Guild Wars 2 advertisement on him, too. It's a badass looking mount animation, I'm not going to lie.
They are on fire with content. Now, in this expansion, they're doing a lot. They're revamping combat with more freed-up weapon choices at launch, reworked runes and relics, and then after launch, even more weapon choices. Now, of course, one of the things people love about Guild Wars 2 is their unique approach to mounts and how they make the exploration content unparalleled fun. And this time around, the sky scale's getting love. It has a more streamlined unlock process and a whole new line of masteries. It'll launch August 22nd with a complete solo arc, 2 zones, and you know how deep and interactive a Guild Wars 2 zone is. 2 strike missions, rift hunting encounters, which have got tier difficulty, and a horde mode, plus a bunch more. And then every few months, you'll be getting updates where a second story arc will be playing out alongside new content and a 3rd zone. So it's great seeing them get their content down. You can click the link in the description to pre-purchase now and secure exclusive rewards with the Arcane Spellweaver's hat skin,
it's a long ad, man.
It's like a long sponsorship and the Demon Hunter title, plus a max level character boost. Big thank you to ArenaNet for sponsoring. Check out the link down below, and let's go.
There you go. All right, World of Warcraft, the South Seas. Yes, we're getting a pirate expansion. We've been talking about this since vanilla, the South Seas expansion.
Confirmed. But why now, after all of this time? There's one answer, and that answer is pirates. The key here is the return of the Night Squall.
That's right.
A book found at Dragonflight tells the tale of Dread Admiral
Pirate expansion. I have a whole video about this on my YouTube channel.
Pirate captain said to be gathering a mass of pirates from across the bandit world.
It's great.
Including the Bloodsails, the Iron Tides, the Freebooters, and the now slightly more evil-looking Defias Brotherhood.
Oh my god, look at this. We got cannons. We're compensating for something on this ship. Something is being... I mean, these cannons are a bit much, I'm not going to lie. But imagine this, guys. Pirate expansion. We get not dragon riding, but ship riding. I've talked about this many times. We're going to get customizable pirate ships. The same way that we could customize our dragon mounts, we're going to customize pirate ships. And we're going to sail on these pirate ships on the open sea, a revamped, kind of re-graphicsed, up-resed open sea, right? With waves and everything, and no loading screens. This is going to be the new dragon riding of this next expansion. It's going to happen. I promise you guys. I've said it. I got an inside source. The inside source is me and my brain and knowing what's coming. This is coming. It's going to be great. And it could also be a player housing replacement because people have been asking for it. You go down in your decks. You check out player housing. It's going to be down there. You're going to have your own shit set up and everything. It's happening, guys. It's happening. Get ready for it. But the pirate ships are not ours. No, you're going to make your own. You are. You're going to have your own shit. You're going to have your own pirate, okay? Get ready to sail the 7 seas, boys. It's going to happen. Oh, God. Oh, God. I fucking misclicked. Oh, God. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Yeah, we're right here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Night elf pirate captain said to be gathering a mass of pirates from across the bandit world, including the Bloodsails, the Iron Tides, the Freebooters, and the now slightly more evil-looking Defias Brotherhood. Now, the Night Squall himself is more a thing of legend, but that doesn't mean that these pirates aren't kicking about for a reason. Do you remember the island of Talabheem? Yes, it's a long-running joke, the Banana Island. Actually, it was mentioned by name quite recently. That means a lot of the ancient speculation from back in the day is still game. We've seen a lot of islands be added to WoW. Kazan, Zandalar, Kul Tiras.
Every expansion's been an island, pretty much. By the way, also island expeditions, they're going to come back, but they're going to come back better. I think they kind of dropped the ball on those. Everybody knows that. They're going to bring them back, but in a better way.
There's plenty we haven't been to, like Plunder Isle. Starting life as a Warcraft remap, it's only since appeared in the role-playing game. But get this, in the role-playing game, it is the mighty home of the Bloodsail Buccaneers and their pirate captain, Lord Fairvern, who is a Lordaeron noble. Should I say a former Lordaeron noble. And that means there is an immense potential for storytelling here. Lordaeron politicking, assaulting a pirate base, getting between the Bloodsail and the Blackwater's rivalry. The Bloodsail even have submarines they're saving up for a rainy day. Kind of mad. And useful if we run into any underwater enemies like the Naga. And of course, with Naga showing up in the Forbidden Reach alongside pirates,
we're going to get Naga in the next expansion,
due to return soon, I think you can imagine how all this would play out. And that is only one of many islands. We have Talabheem, we have Hiji, we have Baelor, right? Mad. Baelor is a really cool one. It's actually named after the Irish king of the giants, so you can be damn sure we will be applying our lore magnifying glass for that one.
Playable Naga? I don't know about that one.
The South Seas is actually not the only place we can follow these pirates. We can follow them to store.bellular.games.
Oh my God, this guy's working fucking
art book and some other goodies that my art team put together. Oh, we can also follow them to the other side of Azeroth. The Night Squall was, allegedly, the first person in the game's lore to make it beyond the Veiled Sea and return.
That's right. This Night Elf guy did it.
So grand, he needs the largest pirate fleet ever assembled to haul it back home.
Yeah.
What's waiting over there, then? Remember, this is Warcraft. People often don't go for treasure just because it's shiny. They want treasure because it's something crazy, like the heart of a god, the blood of a demon, a cursed weapon.
True.
And also across the sea, seemingly, is the land of Avalorn. Before the Sundering, a group of anti-Titan heretics committed crimes against one of Aenar's keepers, amongst others, and fled. They fled to a land far away from Kalimdor called Avalorn. And Odin was completely unable to give chase. He tried 3 times to send expeditions after them, and all 3 ended in wreckage, being washed up.
So this is like an we've been getting a lot of anti-Titan lore. This is like a land of anti-Titan people. Interesting. I didn't know this part of the
his home shores.
Cool.
Their defenses were just too strong. This is all lore we found out at the start of this expansion. It's honestly awesome. I love how it feels.
Great, yeah, I like it too.
And to me, it sounds like the Veiled Sea is not necessarily a natural phenomenon, rather some sort of defense mechanism by the apparent mortals who rebelled. Or something like that. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's pretty metal, but it opens up so much expansion possibilities. We could get pirate allies across the Veiled Sea, maybe some Naga, which makes sense given their mastery of the sea. And, of course, imagine what we could find there. Races and peoples from before the Sundering with entirely different cultures, magic beyond our comprehension, and, of course, a bone to pick with the Titans and their keepers. And the best part is, with how the story's going, that means they could either be allies or enemies. There's even a chance of a hidden 5th old god waiting for us there.
That's true.
Imagine we would have new flora, new fauna, a new land for the Alliance and the Horde to squabble over, like with Pandaria, and everything that might entail.
This, we were talking about WoW 2 in the last video we watched. This could be considered like a WoW 1.5, maybe. If you're honestly getting a whole new continent, a whole new art style, a whole new everything. New races, new magic, new all kinds. That's like a WoW 1.5. Maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe that's what we're going to get. That'd be a wild-ass expansion. It'd almost be like a Cataclysm-esque reset, right? But better, because you're not destroying the old content to create the new content. You're just creating new content.
Naga and these new, or perhaps very, very old heretics, and just everything brand new, fresh,
Captain Sparrow. I mean, how could you not
pastures.
like a WoW
I
expansion,
honestly
pirate expansion with
really
that name?
hope that it is this one.
And it doesn't mean the Void's not going to be there. Now let's remember, this is like an anti-Titan place. We could find a fifth old god enter the Void. I don't think we're going to fight the Void necessarily, or like fight the ultimate Void beings in this next expansion, but there's certainly going to be some Void shit in there. I think that's going to happen.
I mean, hey, remember all that stuff Deathwing wrote in the margins of the old gods and the Ordering of Azeroth, where he's like, no, there's totally other places, like beyond Kalimdor. That's a lie. Yeah, I want to go there. I think this would be an awesome expansion.
I agree.
Many would consider this to be the most likely, and it's kind of similar to the first two ideas, but a whole lot darker. The Void will come to Azeroth. Ashara's return, all juiced up with Void power,
Enter the
is
Void,
imminent,
Captain.
as is Xal'atath. The Void is making big moves. Xal'atath and Eridicron have cooked up a master plan that'll see Xal'atath
think about it.
coming to us in her final
If
form.
you've got an entire continent that the Titans really can't get to, and that's kind of shaded away from their vision, wouldn't that be a great place for the Void to be doing things? Shaded from the Titans. The Titans can't see what we're up to. They can't get here. Odin hasn't been able to get to this place. That sounds like a good spot for the Void to kind of sit and fester.
Instead of a barely alive being trapped in a dagger. Or maybe even worse, Azeroth herself could get corrupted. So imagine purple skyboxes, zones under assault, old enemies to team up with to save the world, and basically everything that happens when trouble comes to us instead of us going to it. Like with Legion, I suppose, but perhaps even more dangerous. There are two dormant old gods on the world right now, and both have been showing a few signs of life. Who knows, then, what Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron will do when all hell breaks loose, never mind how many of our own that they could turn to their side, willingly or otherwise. So, a big void-filled expansion that would be time for Blizzard to finally let loose with the Lovecraft vibes, throwing us into mystic nightmare worlds and maybe giving us a good reason to have dragon riding all across Azeroth so we can fly around those massive continents, fighting off incursions, closing portals, and maybe even diving into some old dungeons and raids like AQ, Ulduar, even Black Fathom Deeps, dealing with all manner of tentacles and mouths. Maybe we'd even get a renown track with either Xal'atath or Ashara, depending on who's helping us kill who. And maybe the Twilight Hammer, or those Void Ethereals like Shadreen, who have been stalking us for years now.
Ethereals will play a role. Ethereals are about to get, they're not just going to be our transmog buddies. They're going to get more and more in depth here. I think we're going to dig more into the Ethereal story.
There is a lot of opportunity here, a lot of threads that could be pulled together. Ultimately, old gods have played major roles in past expansions, but we haven't had an expansion that is outright overtly marketed as being a big old god one. It could be pretty metal.
BFA was,
and of course, how much of this
Alliance
is
N'Zoth's
plan?
Supposedly.
And this is where I'm also going to sneak in the fourth expansion concept. I don't think they'll do this in a Void expansion, but there is also all the light stuff going on the Draenor timeline. They could pull Yrel out of that portal any time that they want to, and that could even be our next expansion. It would be Blizzard moving a little too fast, in my opinion, but that's really my expansion wildcard idea for today.
A whole Fight the Light expansion? Yeah, that could be it. That could be another expansion for sure. I mean, we haven't gotten a full-on Void expansion. Maybe we get a full-on Light expansion before we do.
Shows up, but Yrel also shows up to help us fight it, with her eventually becoming the expansion's focus. And that is Idea 4, World of Warcraft Lightbound. I mean, hey, it's bound to happen sooner or later. But that still does seem a long way off. I think it's all Void right now, so let's move on.
Okay. World of Warcraft Beyond.
World of Warcraft Beyond. Okay. There's the crazy, high-budget, and maybe misguided version of the Void attack. It's something they could do. Maybe we go to it. Because not since the Burning Crusade have we had good cosmic exploration. And
that's true.
I mean cosmic as in, out there in space.
Yeah,
not
space. Yeah, space, not... Oh my god, he's not gonna...
Steve.
Oh no, it's the Sky Dildo. Oh no, we're going back. Yeah, the Shadowlands is not space exploration. It's like... otherworld weirdness exploration, right? It doesn't count. Yeah, he's right. We haven't had good space shit since BC, really. Since BC, we have not gone to space and seen cool shit. Now, remember, BC is not space either, but it's the closest we've gotten to it. It's another world that's kind of floating in space. So that's cool. God, I hate seeing this shit.
The Noozer's wacky nightmare death realm.
You love the Sky Dildo.
The Void has been
Orvos is the worst city ever put in the game.
And a bit more cosmic space radiation. Look at the beacon to beyond, the voice of the silent star. And
Argus was space shit, but you know, it was just a patch. Not the best. Not the best. It was all right, but I had a good raid. But otherwise, like, we haven't had, like, you know, expansion space, right? Expansion space where you go in, the entire expansion has cool space looking skyboxes, like we did in Hellfire Peninsula, going all the way through BC.
Shul, whatever the hell that is. All of Sarkarath's abilities
Argus
are about
wasn't a space expansion, it was a space patch.
Maybe it's the sci-fi fan in me actually just wanting to have Event Horizon in a WoW expansion, who knows? But it's one of those things. This could be metal as fucking awesome, but a bit of me knows or thinks or suspects it could be a bad idea compared to staying in Azeroth and keeping players in a place that they're deeply invested.
The thing about going to space and getting otherworldly is it makes you miss the old world. And that's a problem with going, like, hardcore going into space, is that you miss all the shit you fell in love with. You miss Elwyn Forest. You miss the simple fantasy stuff, right? Because now you're just in space. It gets really weird. Using a sword and shield in space, right? Why are we boarding ships that can travel faster than the speed of light, but I'm using a sword and shield to fight an enemy? It gets a little bit like kind of, what's going on here? I don't know. But, you know, eventually I think we're going to have to get a bit spacey to fight the Void. I just don't know if we do it for an entire expansion.
A proper spacefaring expansion could be such a good flex and a good way to get us off the planet for a while. We can always come back to a revamped world. I mean, there are so many worlds out there. We've got the destroyed ruins of Nathraza, what of Zoroth, way back in the day.
Maybe he might be onto something there.
6 maybe.
Maybe the Void lures us away from Azeroth and then infects it. And now we come back, we realize, oh my god, they destroyed the world while we were gone. WoW 2. Reset. We gotta reset it. That's it. We gotta reset everything and fix what we did wrong. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Maybe. I did a video on all the different planets and worlds that we haven't explored in Warcraft yet. Perhaps that video will finally come due. And also, hey, the Vindicar's there. People would probably enjoy dropping big light-themed ion cannons on a whole bunch of mobs. Which, I mean, Lightforge and I can already do, but you get the point. Now, I don't think we'll be getting dragon riding in space, but hey, maybe a customizable spaceship as a base sounds like a pretty decent idea of a second sort of class order hall.
Maybe.
Argus, and maybe even going back to TBC, I mean, they do have blueprints of how to send us into space and to actually make it cool. There also would be a lot out there. The Celestials, like Algalon, dead and dying worlds of all sorts, ethereals, void ethereals, maybe even the Legion. Demons who don't realize the war is over. And of course, Elune. She is clearly more than just our moon.
Yeah,
plus,
the ultimate
I really
PMS
want to find
guy.
out what this Anshul is. Okay, now it's time for the wildest theory yet. This is a wild card, but if it happens, everyone here, we're all going to pretend that we called it.
The Black Empire.
World of Warcraft, the Black Empire. There's a chance we go back in time to the Black Empire. We technically have. In a quest.
We did.
And I don't mean this as a patch,
quest.
but I mean it as a whole expansion. The Titans have been lying about the Black Empire, right? It's not a bad idea.
Right.
We've been hearing constantly about it in Dragonflight. Shadowlands was all about sort of the Titans hiding the bigger picture from us. But the team have been thinking about the Black Empire specifically for a long time.
True.
At the last full BlizzCon in 2019, at a Q&A after the Shadowlands reveal, Steve Denuser was asked whether Chronicle is canon, and he answered basically yes, sort of, but it's from the perspective of the Titans.
Exactly. That's what we realized. It's from the perspective of the Titans. The Titans wrote the Chronicle, so they basically retconned everything they didn't like about the world.
What's key is he gave one specific example, and that was the Black Empire. He said that a lot of other perspectives exist on it, right? And that all we've seen is the Titan perspective. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is all perfectly in line with those messages from Odin we found at the start of this expansion. Yeah. So, that's
and Neltharion figured that out.
The Black Empire was more varied than we know. There's that massive hanging thread about us going back there and showing N'Zoth what timeline he was on. Of course, if you remember in Thaldraszus, in the Dragonflight level up experience.
Love this shit about N'Zoth.
Yeah, we go back in time, to which N'Zoth kind of looks at us and goes, interesting. This confirms a few things to me.
Yeah, N'Zoth looks at us and he sees the future. He sees how he is defeated, right? He figures that out. He goes, "Oh, okay, I've seen you. I know you." He said something like that, like, "I know your face," or whatever had happened there. I forgot what exactly he said in the quest line. But essentially, he learns how we defeat him. He sees the stuff that happens in BFA. And yet it happened. He didn't change it. So maybe he lets the shit happen. This is what we're starting to think now. He let the shit happen. He's not actually defeated. He found a way to kind of survive it. And now he's extra dangerous because we think he's not around, but in fact he is. Or he let us think we defeated him. We never did. It was just a vision the entire time. Either way, this questline proved that he knew what was happening. He's still the ultimate planner and schemer, and he was 20 steps ahead of us when we finally met him in the raid and defeated him, supposedly defeated him.
Then, of course, the Infinite Dragonflight, while they do seem to be in the back burner, I mean, just look at the massive fake-out. The dungeon was called Dawn of the Infinite, but actually, we stopped it instead. We're on to you, Blizz.
Yeah.
There's a ton of unresolved Infinite things. I mean, hell, imagine this. We arrive in the past and N'Zoth immediately begs for our help.
Exactly.
He knows we're going to kill him in the future, but right now, he needs us to survive and we need him. He is at his weakest, right? He's just lost the Battle of Cthulhu that Xal'atath told us about in Legion, right? That's where he is. He is, at his weakest. And if he loses to one of the others, then his brothers will be stronger than ever and might kill us in the future. But of course, he won't, because he knows that the version of us that travels back in time, that version of us thinks we defeated him. Right. Even though that actually might still be part of his plan.
Exactly.
You see? So maybe we ally with him, we go against the other three old gods, and we learn what Azeroth was actually like.
We are kind of allied. By the way, some people still have the Eye of N'Zoth on them. That shit never went away. That shit still exists. So some people have already allied with him by having those on their heads. And that shit already exists. So, oh my god, I love this. Ally with N'Zoth. Holy crap. The ultimate schemer allied to defeat the others? Holy shit.
Back in the day.
Oh, this is
okay,
good. This is some
crazy idea, but I suppose it is
chess.
possible. And that is it for today. I would say then, to you, what do you expect of this BlizzCon? Is it going to be Lightbound, Voidscarred, Beyond? I am itching for some rich voidy goodness, but to be honest, a big old trip to the South Seas or Avalorn for some
I think that's what we're getting next. We're getting pirate shit next.
Kind of what I would love to see. Second only to, of course, Yrel busting through the dark portal and trying to, well, convert us all, and us having to fight off the crusade. But it's Yrel. I think that would be really fun. Okay, there you go. Future expansions. Cast your vote down below. Be sure to support our sponsor because they make the show possible. And with that said, I will see you in the next video.
Yeah, that was a great one. That's one of the better value. I don't know. I love this speculative shit. I really got into it. And I think he's right about some of this stuff. I've talked about a pirate expansion coming next. I still think that's what's coming next. And everything I said about pirate ships and all that, watch that shit. It's going to get confirmed, boys. It's a guarantee.